Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2022 NCAA Division II Baseball Selection Show. I'm Matt Schumacher. Baseball postseason is upon us. 56 teams, 8 regions, 16 host sites, with each region being broken up into 2 pods. The reigning national champion Wingate Bulldogs are back to defend their crown against a deep field of competition that includes 7 of the last 8 national champions. 22 conference tournament champions have earned an automatic bid, while 24 more programs await their fate tonight. We've got a big show ahead. Let's dive into the bracket, and we start in the West region with the first program to receive a host bid and a bye, Point Loma. And they are certainly deserving after a record-setting season for the Sea Lions ended with a Pac West title, and now the program's 4th NCAA tournament berth. Top record in the country. They set a school record for wins in the D2 era, while also leading the conference in hitting, pitching, and fielding. The Sea Lions await either Northwest Nazarene or Cal Poly Pomona in the 4-5 matchup. Northwest Nazarene back after winning their section of the West Regional a year ago, while Pomona has won 8 games in a row heading into the NCAA tournament. On to West Region number 2, Azusa Pacific will host and receive a bye. The Cougars' potent offense, led by the Smash Brothers, Tito Robles, Spencer Rasmussen, each with 16 homers this year. And the 3 seed, well, that belongs to Cal State Monterey Bay, who won their league regular season crown behind the exceptional arm of Joseph Stanley, who posted a 1.93 ERA, good for 9th in the country. He and Cal State, they'll take on Western Oregon, which won a share of its 15th GNAC regular season title. They're making a return appearance to the NCAA Regionals after advancing all the way to the regional title game a season ago. The West is now squared away. Let's head south to the South Central region. And earning the number 1 seed and a bye after going 45-10 is Angelo State, back in the tournament after falling just short in the national semifinal a year ago to eventual national champion Wingate. This year, Angelo State posted the 2nd highest scoring offense in the country, behind only Spring Hill. In the 4 slot, it is Texas A&M Kingsville, who put 8 players on the all-conference teams, including Giancarlo Servin, who joined catcher Nick Wolf on the first team. Meanwhile, head coach Jason Gonzalez, he picked up his 400th career win this season, and the Javelinas tied the school record for homers in a game with 6, and they also placed 2 pitchers in the top 5 of the Lone Star Conference as well. They'll certainly need those arms against 5-seeded MSU Denver, who had the 6th highest scoring offense in the country while ranking 4th in home runs. The Roadrunners can let it fly. 5 players tallying 11 homers or more, including Ross Smith, who posted a ridiculous 20 homers, 20 doubles, 65 runs batted in this season, en route to helping his club win the RMAC tournament crown. And on to region number 2 in the South Central, and that is hosted by 2 seed Colorado Mesa. They posted the 4th most runs in the country this year, led the nation in batting average. I think you're starting to see a theme in this regional. Lots of offense. If you want a name to watch for Colorado Mesa in this tournament, Hayden McGreary. He led the country in batting average and home runs. Certainly they'll need his bat, as they will take on either West Texas A&M, making its 8th NCAA tournament appearance, or St. Edwards, back in the tournament for the first time since 2018. From the South Central region to the Southeast region we go. North Greenville earns the top seed in this section of the bracket. The Conference Carolinas champs were tops in the league in ERA and runs, a lethal combination for sure, but both those marks were also top 10 in the country, as the now 5-time tournament participants look to make a run out of the region and into the finals for the first time in program history. But the road ahead of them is tough, and it includes Lenore Rhine and UNC Pembroke. For just the 2nd time in program history and the first since 2001, welcome to the tournament, Lenore Ryan. The Bears earned an automatic qualifier by capturing their second SAC tournament championship in program history with a pair of wins over defending national champion Wingate. They set program records this year for most wins in a season, most conference wins, and the longest winning streak in program history with 19 in a row. They also have 7 wins over nationally ranked opponents this year. They take on a Pembroke team that is making its 3rd trip to the regional in the last 4 seasons. On to Southeast Region 2. Columbus State, you have the 3 seed. After going 42-10 in the regular season, the Cougars will face Belmont Abbey first, a team that led Conference Carolinas in home runs with 79 this year. Sean Johnson, Ben Goebel, they became the first Belmont Abbey teammates to earn National Hitter of the Week in the same season. Well, 2 seed Wingate, reigning national champions, 46-8. They get to host in this section, and they will play Young Harris in the 7th slot first. 3 regions down, 1 more to go before we are halfway home. In the South region, number 1, Valdosta State has earned the 4 seed. The 1979 national champs are back for the 22nd time. 22 times in the tournament with Elijah Gill, the ace of the staff. He led the Gulf South in ERA, sporting a sub-3 mark, ranked 2nd in the conference in strikeouts. The Blazers are matched up with Nova Southeastern. Sharks pitching has been anchored by left-hander Carlos Ray this year. He carries a 1.01 ERA. Into the NCAA tournament, he struck out 69 batters in 44 innings pitched. And their offense is pretty good too. 3 hitters batting over .330. It's a capable lineup that led the Sunshine State Conference in runs scored throughout the season. And the host of the pod is 8-time champion Tampa. They came within 1 win of the championship series a season ago, and frankly, they seem poised for another deep run this year after winning it all in 2019. They won the Sunshine State Conference Championship. They boast the nation's best team ERA, thanks to one of the best back-end arms in the country, Braden Nelson, who led the nation entering the weekend with a 1.07 mark on the Hill. Tampa has a date with Spring Hill to kick off the tournament, and it took a dramatic 8-7 victory for the Badgers to capture the SEAC title, with reliever Michael Romano getting out of a 2nd and 3rd base jam in the 8th and closing it out in the 9th. There's your first 4 in the South region. On to the second 4 we go, where Rollins is back in the tournament for the first time since 2010. And their first round matchup is with Delta State. The Statesmen are making their 6th consecutive NCAA regional appearance. And the host program for this pod in the South region, well, that goes to the 2 seed St. Leo. And it has been a long time coming for the Lions, who return to the tournament for the first time since 2001. 2 decades have passed, and they are back. And they scored a ton of runs that year. This season, they've had no problem scoring just as many runs. Bobby Sparling led the Sunshine State Conference in slugging, homers, and RBIs. He and the Lions will welcome Lee, whose mantra all year long has been never say die, and the Flames, well, they used that mantra to capture their first ever Gulf South title. Down 8-1 entering the bottom of the 5th, they scored 18 unanswered runs to earn the automatic qualifier en route to a conference tournament title. Okay, folks, first half of the field has been set. Still plenty of more to come after the break, and when we return, we'll unveil the final 28 teams in the 2022 Division II baseball bracket and get you set for championship season.
There's an energy swelling out beyond the limits of your expectations. A universe where fandom reigns supreme. Once you're in it, it changes you. Instead of one of one, you're one of many. A blissful sea of chaos. Go beyond your limits and enter the NCAA universe. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Welcome back to the 2022 NCAA Division II Baseball Selection Show. I'm Matt Schumacher. 28 teams down, 28 to go, 22 automatic qualifiers with 24 teams tonight awaiting their fate. Let's jump right back into the bracket. We start in the Midwest. 7 teams here with the 3-team bracket hosted by the top overall seed, Davenport. The GLIAC's top offense slugged it at .493 this year while collecting more hits, more runs, and more homers than any other team in the league. They made an NCAA tournament debut last season. This year, they want to build on that momentum after forcing a deciding game in this regional a season ago. And Nolan Anspaugh is the engine of this offense, hitting nearly .380 this season. These guys are pumped up. They're ready to rock and roll. They await the outcome of the opener, which features 4th-seeded Quincy, making its 11th tournament appearance and an impressive 7th in a row. They face Northwood, who despite an early exit from the GLIAC tournament is back. The Timberwolves have a lot of young talent to be excited about in their 5th consecutive NCAA tournament. Midwest region number 1 is down. How about number 2? 4 teams in this one, and we lead off with the 3-seed Illinois Springfield. The top scoring team in the GLVC saw more than 10 runs per game cross home plate. Meanwhile, the 6th-seed Ashland will try to control that high-powered offense. The Eagles fought hard to earn a winner-take-all game in the GMAC championship, put their NCAA hopes in the hands of the committee in a final game loss. They are in the field for the 18th time. They get to continue their season. These 2 teams, well, they'll travel to 2-seed and host Wayne State. Head coach Ryan Kelly won his 400th game back in April thanks to a loaded roster that had 8 weekly awards in the GLIAC this season. That was spread amongst 5 different players, by the way. The Warriors led the league in team ERA. They were 2nd in runs scored. And under Kelly, this team is almost automatic in getting to 30 wins or more in a season. And this year was no different. They face a conference champ in the Cavaliers of Walsh. They were the team that bested Ashland in the GMAC finale. The Cavs took advantage of 3 errors in the first inning, scored 4 runs. They preserved an 8-5 win. It earns the program's first ever NCAA tournament berth. Congratulations, Walsh, on making history today. On to the East region, also with 7 teams, which means the top seed gets to scout things out at home. That belongs to Southern New Hampshire. The Penmen go back-to-back as champs of the NE10 Conference, needing a winner-take-all game yesterday with Assumption. Dakota McKay launched a 3-run blast in the bottom of the first to give the team a lead. It would not give up. This marks the program's 10th NCAA tournament trip. Wilmington gets the 4 seed. The CACC's top pitching staff, well, they controlled many games this season. They led the conference in ERA, but they also led it in walk rate and hits allowed. And certainly that pitching staff will be needed against Southern Connecticut State. The Owls return for the first time in 5 years thanks to a balanced roster that saw 8 players earn all conference honors. The 2 seed and host of the other pod is Malloy. They took home the East Coast Conference Championship, but the Lions had to really earn it. They dropped the opener of the conference tournament to St. Thomas Aquinas and had to avenge that loss and eventually get to a showdown with Queens, which took 2 wins of 2 runs or less to earn the automatic berth. That experience in close games may come in handy against a team that has been given new life with the last spot in the East given to Lemoyne. The Dolphins return for the first time since 2018 after an opening win in the NE10 tournament. Another NE10 team is next with Adelphi, the 3 seed. The Panthers had won 13 of 16 games until bowing out of the conference tournament with 2 tough late inning losses. Those should motivate a group now, though, back in the NCAA tournament after missing the field last season. They will have a challenging first-round matchup with the Ravens of Franklin Pierce. Head coach Mike Chambers guides his alma mater back to the NCAA postseason. He was a member of the regional winning team in the program's inaugural trip to the D2 tournament back in 2003. All right, 2 regions to go as we unveil the Central next. Full 8 teams here, lots of tournament experience, including 4-seed Minnesota State. 39 trips to the NCAA tournament for Minnesota State. They came closest to winning it all in 2013 when they finished national runner-up. They will take on a tested Augustana team. No pitching staff has surrendered less hits per 9 innings than this one. And that pitching depth could be the key to another title run, just as this team proved was possible back in 2018. That team made it all the way to Cary, beating Columbus State for a national championship. Does this year's squad have a similar date with destiny? There is certainly enough experience and memories around the program to remind the current team how it's done. These games will take place at the home of the top seed, Central Missouri. The 2-time national champs made the championship series last year. They hope to find a little magic again this season and get the offense when it counts. They are led by one Brennan Van Brugesen. He leads the country in hits per game and led the conference in hitting at .457 entering the weekend. But the path back to Cary starts with a game against Washita Baptist. Celebration time for the Tigers, who snagged the last at-large bid in the Central to advance to the NCAA tournament for the first time since '08. Congratulations, Tigers. Our other pod in the Central starts with 3-seed Henderson State. This team relied on pitching this year, topping the conference in ERA and WHIP, making back-to-back NCAA tournaments for the first time in school history. That staff will get an excited bunch as we say hello for the first time to Northeastern State. It is the first time in the program's history making the tournament and the first time winning 30 games in a season. Certainly a historic year for Northeastern State. And boy, it's been a dominant season, breaking the MIAA record for homers in a year while becoming the first team with 100 home runs, 100 doubles, and 100 steals in a single season. Brock Reller broke the MIAA single season mark for homers with 27. Blake Freeman is the career hits leader at NSU, and he's second in the nation in hits this year. Those 2 teams travel to the host, 2-seed Southern Arkansas, 41-11 this year. What a season it was. Chris Lyles hit a 2-run shot as part of a 3-for-5 day to propel the Mule Riders to a 6th GAC title and another berth in the NCAA tournament. Lyles' blast was the start of a 17-run championship total in the final game. And they face the 7-seed Washburn, who can celebrate its first NCAA tournament appearance in program history. The Itchabods were trying to win the MIAA tournament for the first time and came so close against Central Missouri as 18 total runs over a marathon day of games wasn't enough to get the win. Nonetheless, Washburn is in the NCAA tournament. All right, folks, our final region to unveil. On we go to the Atlantic, where the top seed and host is Westchester. 10 years after the first of the program's 2 national titles, the Golden Rams return for another year after missing it altogether a season ago. The ace of the staff is Braden Fosnot, who set a program record for strikeouts with 98, too shy of the century mark. They play host to 4-seed Slippery Rock. The top hitting and fielding team in the PSAC this year, Coach Jeff Messer, got the credit with his 7th Coach of the Year award, guides this program back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 15 years. Welcome back, Slippery Rock. The return starts with Seton Hill. The champions of the Atlantic last year won their first game at the final site as well before the run ended, looking for a return trip this season to Cary. All right, down to the final 4 slots of the night, and Gannon checks in next. Featuring the PSAC West Pitcher of the Year, Eric Sapp. He didn't take a loss on the season en route to the award of Pitcher of the Year and enters the NCAA postseason looking for some dominance. Sapp has thrown 3 2-hitters and a 3-hitter and had a stretch of 4 straight games with 10 or more strikeouts. Have to imagine he gets the ball against East Stroudsburg in the opener. A valiant run to the PSAC championship game earns this program an at-large selection and their first tournament berth since 2016. The final 2, and we start with the host, Millersville in the 2 seed, in what their head coach John Sheehan called a wild ride. The Marauders are champs of the PSAC for the first time since 2015. Luke Traynor came back for another year of eligibility to win a title. He did just that, securing tournament MVP honors along the way. And he gave up his catcher spot for the betterment of the team, had to return behind the plate in the tournament, and then hit .500 for a 4-game stretch. This is the 12th trip. Rather, they will take on a team who's making its 12th trip to the tournament, battling Charleston, making the program's 4th consecutive tournament appearance. The Golden Eagles capturing the Mount East Championship not too long ago to advance to the NCAA tournament, erupting for 7 runs in the 3rd inning to blow it open in the winner-take-all game. And there you have it. Our 56-team field is complete. All regionals are double elimination and will be played May the 19th through May the 22nd. Regional winners advance to the best of 3 super regionals the following weekend, and the teams who make it through that gauntlet earn a trip to Cary, North Carolina for the national championship hosted by the University of Mount Olive from June 4th to June 11th. Good luck to all 56 teams and competitors. Championship season is upon us.
There's an energy swelling out beyond the limits of your expectations. A universe where fandom reigns supreme. Once you're in it, it changes you. Instead of one of one, you're one of many. A blissful sea of chaos. Go beyond your limits and enter the NCAA universe. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets.